Alright guys, so we're doing the cooling system on this Evinrude 115. Got the parts late last night, forgot to do a video of changing the impeller over. It's a little bit tricky on this one because, where is it? This key, it's unlike a normal keyway. It is a ramp. So, if you're standing at the back of this thing, and the motor's in forward, the shaft spins clockwise. Right? So this ramp has to be turned into that clockwise motion, not that way, but this way. So as the impeller spins, it's ramping against this, hitting the back and keeping the tension on it. I thought it was the other way around, didn't pay attention when I took it apart. But as you can see here, that gouge in the last video was on the top, right? So if you look at where that ramp sits, right there, it spins this way, obviously, the shape of the fins. And that ramp hits that groove right there. It sits on it like that. So it would sit in there like that as it spins forward. Anywho, thought I'd share that little bit of information with you. Gonna reinstall this sucker. And next we're gonna do the thermostats. Now the thermostats on these guys are fun. You got this in your way. And there's one bolt. There's the next. And then you got one on the top. Where is it? I don't know if I can even. Anyway. Where are we? What are we looking at? There it is. Right there. And as you can see, it's down and in there. So, we're going to take a zip disc this up, over, and down so we can have straight access to those bolts. Unfortunately, that's the only way you're going to do it, people. Because I don't know about you, but I ain't got any tools I can get in underneath there. Alright, well, let's put this leg back on. Okay, it's hard to see, but right down in there is your shifter sticking up. Right in here. Can't even see it. Anyway, it's sticking up. So all we do is you push the shifter linkage in to open it up. That shifter will be sticking up, you can't see it, but line it up with the little pin, pull that lever back and lock it into place. Now this is pretty difficult. You're gonna need something thin and long to get behind the shifter and rock it forward. You lock that pin into position. Not the easiest alignment job ever, that's for sure. There we go. Caught it. There we go. Shifting gears. Rock on. Okay, that's about all there is to the hooking up the shifter linkage. Now that's in. Oh yeah, we got to put the cotter pin back in so it can't back out. So here's our cotter pin. It goes in the shifter. Goes goes in the shifter. Where are we looking? Right on this side of the shifter. Let's see if I can get a video of that. So slide these back over to where they belong, back to your home. Over there. There's the hole. Shift this forward to maybe get that hole a little bit better. There we go. Lock it forward. Ooh, tricky. Have to go at it this way. Man, that's a good one. Get in there. Wow. Trying to get the force on that. There it is. Sucker. There. Clips in place. Now we can't lose our shifter linkage, which is still connected. As you can see, zoom in. If I can shade it, you can see it right there. Right down in there. Now, clean my camera maybe. Right there. Right down there. You can see it moving. Pins in. Okay, next step. Let's put the carburetors back on. Very simple. It's 8 bolts. Get the carburetors right back on. 8 bolts. Back on. All right, carbs are back on. Next thing is this, I guess it would be a choke. What it does is when you hit the trigger in, it squirts extra fuel through one of the jets at the top and just squirts. So you can get it going on a cold start. And or say if one of your carburetors plugs up and it won't run, you can flip this and it'll bypass so you can get itself home. But if it doesn't work, you can manually flip it over and make it work. But this has a crack in it. I don't know if you can see it or not. Right here, there's a crack. So it's leaking. So we got a rebuild kit. You undo these 4 bolts and let's see what's in there. So here is a replacement kit. Here's our parts numbers. All right, let's see, taking that off. Okay, we're gonna get this in slow-mo here. See how it comes apart. So it looks like that. Peel this little sucker off. What do we got? Diaphragm there with a little top on it, okay. And I know the needle and all works because it does function, it just leaks. So in our kit, we get a new little bladder and a new head unit. This bladder went down and in. go. Head unit. And I always, because it's got a little O-ring on there, just for abrasion purposes, put a little lube on it. Then stuff her in. Whoa. Trying to figure out which way's closed here. Closed, open. Closed. Closed. So directly facing straight up would be closed. Let's put our screws back in. That was a pretty simple rebuild for that issue. Pretty friggin' simple. I like simple. So far, Johnson or Evinrude here, Johnson Evinrude. It's got me happy. Pretty simple to work on so far. Except for that stupid thermostat. It's going to be fun, I'm sure. I really hope those bolts aren't seized in. This is all plastic, guys, so don't over crank, but make it good. Okay, that's that. Now we're going to put the shroud back on, mount everything back up. Then we're going to get the die grinder out and cut out the thermostat. You see, guys? There's the crack in that housing I was talking about. It's pissing gas out of it. That is no good. All right, we got that cover back on. Now we're going to put the bolts back in. To hold this cover on, I put the wrong ones in, but that's okay. We can switch them out. So I'm putting a little red Loctite on here. Very little, because we may want to remove these again in the future. Red's not the right color to use. It's a little permanent, but it's all right. These ones that I put in here for the cover on the leg, I just sit there and scratch my head and go, what bolts went where again? But we got it. Pretty straightforward stuff doing this stuff, eh guys? Not much to it. Anyone can pretty much do it. The heck did I just do with the ratchet? There it is. Got my homemade mechanic glove on because I blew a chunk out of my hand yesterday with a pressure washer. That was pretty wicked. If you haven't tried it, I don't recommend it. 4,000 PSI, takes off flesh like nothing. Especially when you get it right close to the money maker. It's had the wand in my armpit, and I was adjusting my ropes on a roof, and it slipped out of my armpit. And by the time I reacted and caught it, I caught the nozzle. Blew that out like woo, real quick. The reason why we're putting Loctite on here is because if these things vibrate loose, they're going to go right into your engine and they're going to destroy that engine. There was actually a big chunk of this broken plate right down inside here when I took this off, which was really shocking that it didn't get all the way inside that motor. Thank God. Or that would have been the end of it. Like so. I'm gonna fix this down the road. I'm gonna JB weld it all up. For now, I just want to make sure she can run. Put the cover on, guys. Put the airbox cover on. All right, guys, I pulled out the old zip disc. Cut myself an access panel. You're gonna want to heat these guys up underneath here, because if you're not careful, you're gonna snap those heads right off. So crack it loose a little bit, tighten it a little bit. Crack it loose a little bit more, tighten it a bit more. Keep working it in and out, getting all that corrosion out of the threads. Don't just crank it till it snaps. Don't do that. I think it's safe to say those are done. Yeah, after 30 years, you know, it's time. Let's see what it's like underneath there. All right, let's pull it apart. Here is our kit and what it comes with. There's our parts numbers. So that's what it looks like on the inside. Not gonna need those because we got new ones. We're gonna have to get this gasket off of here and clean that up. Yeah, that's on there. Not bad. One piece. What's that all about? Still gonna have to clean that face up. This guy here. You've seen that guy. Yeah. Yeah, oh yeah, look at that. Done. There's a major malfunction right there. Yeah. Then we got these guys. These are just pop valves and they have a little gasket on the inside. Alright, let's get a stand and let's get this apart. Alright guys, we're going to slow this down a little bit. I'm going to get some ultra black RTV. I like to use RTV. Just helps hold everything in place and guarantees my seal. And this ultra black can be used instantly. Water, whatever. Stuff's unbelievable. So, just a tiny thin little line. We don't need a lot of goo here. It's just a little security, people. Do your stuff up. Do the same up there. Just gonna do that. I mean, there's no way this thing's ever been done. Those things are factory. That's why if you're gonna do the impeller and she's overheating and stuff like that, do your thermostats as well. But like I said, unless you got some kind of magical tools, you're gonna have to cut this access panel here. It's just the only way. Not only that, it probably saved me hours trying to get those bolts out of the way. Yeah, just a nice thin little layer. Alright, we're ready for some gasket to go back on there. You know what? I know we get some never sees for these bolts in case we ever have to do this again, because that was borderline. I'm going to break the head off. They really don't want to come very easy. Let's go get some never sees. Also, I'm going to inject a little bit into the holes. Try and get that freaking thing up in the face. You got your never, damn it, never sees. Ooh. And we're gonna clean it. I did get that right in the eye, son of a. I'm gonna clean those up a little bit. So you can see they're a little grunge. And these tips are the best. They're soft. They won't remove any aluminum on your aluminum stuff. My dad introduced me to these tips, and they are fantastic. I like them. You're not gonna hurt the metal, and you can just give her. Plus it gets into like tight little nooks and stuff. Like I was taking the paint off of like inside there, those angles in here, it reached in there. It's kind of nice. All right, clean these threads up real good. Put your thumbnail in the thread, spray it with a little bit of goo. Look at the difference. Clean. Never sees. Ooh, it's a lot. We're gonna load the threads up. Just like that. Do that to your 3 bolts. You don't need to see it all. All right. Let's open this sumbitch. First, we're gonna put in the perps. Go back in here. Oh, wait. First, let's put on the gasket. See, and that's why I put RTB on there. Because look, now it stays in place. Right on. Next gasket is going to go on your cover. And your bolt holes up. It'll press into place. Bam. Now, this guy. Here, come on. Come down here. First we got these little dudes. They go in the centers. Right? Like that. that. Those go in there. Like that. And these guys, the corks, they go in for your thermostats. Then your thermostat goes in. That is rebuilt. Ready for install. You know what? I'm going to put some RTV on here too. Just going to do it. Because why not? We did all the rest. Let's do these two. I'm gonna get these done. All right, we're ready to go back in, people. Put your springs in. Let's line up on spray that sucker too, 'cause it's freaking grungy in there. These bolts did not want to come out of this housing, man. I had to heat and play and heat and play. They still don't want to go through. You stay. Work them in. Anti-seize in there, you know. Going back in. Line up your springs. Wow, there's some tension on there. Oh, wow. Okay. Let's do it the other way. Put this gasket on here too. Those springs push pretty friggin' hard. Oh my God. They really do push hard. Where's my ratchet? Just like that, people. Those springs they push back pretty darn hard. Like, seriously. Don't crank it down yet. Just get it in place. Okay. A little bit in that center shaft for corrosion. Crap out of there. You all fixed. Now I'm gonna have to build some custom parts here to put this plaque back on, and we'll get some tin. You know, put a little tab of tin in there. Drill a little hole on either side. Pop rivet that sucker. Put some self tappers through the other one so we can remove it in the future if we ever have to. And yeah, call it a day. Now we can snug. Yep. Ooh. And I'd say that's done. That's a thermostat job, boys and girls. Nothing to it. Okay, I'm gonna go build a little custom tab here. I'll show you the end result. All right, guys, there's what I did. Drew a little hole, put a self tapper in. These are galvanized pieces. And took my plate, same thing. That's gonna go back up on there. All right, let's check it out. See how this turns out, guys. I think this will work just fine. There, back in. You could throw JB Weld on there if you wanted to, or you could just leave it, or you could just throw some tape on there. Whatever you want, really. I think I'm just gonna throw some tape on there. Call it a day. That's pretty on there. All right, guys. Put this shroud back on, which goes here, and we're almost ready for a water test. Well, there you have it, guys. That's how you get thermostat done, switched out, impeller changed. If you like my videos, give me a thumbs up, give me a subscribe, help me out. Appreciate it more than you guys know. Have a good day, and if you need any help with anything, shoot me a message. Let me know what your issues. Maybe I can help you out. Have a great day, guys. All right, guys. Here we go again. I think this is launch 6 or 7. Between 2 motors. Fix this one all up. Let's see if the alarm starts sounding. Better not. I don't see why it would. I replaced the entire cooling system. All right, let's check it out. Well, she's been running for a few minutes here, guys, and no alarms yet. Take her out in the water, see what happens. The idle's a bit low. Yeah, idle's a bit low. see. Keep it running. Pretty excited, guys. No alarms. See if she's got power. Only time will tell.
The heat with up to 5,000.
That is so cool, man. And you did, I mean, just again, talk about that athletic grind. 2019 independent artist.
Still no alarms.
Major label artist.
Come on, baby.
16,000
Pretty
people.
excited. What's gonna happen? Is it gonna go? Am I gonna play? After a whole winter working on it, this could be it.
It's quite a thought.
Yeah.
Speaking of shows, I gotta thank you for coming to the DJL Live Lounge. Two very different shows that you're gonna be doing today and then tomorrow. What are kind of some of your favorite things you're doing more? Acoustic, like live stuff, and then just, well, you put right now.
I think we're going to talk live stuff for the pressure, very structured time, and just kind of
she pushes. Down before I lose it. Alright guys, did about a 10-minute cruise at about 30. Time to do a once over. Make sure everything's okay, you know. First time she's been in the water. Some water in here. don't know if that's old water or if that's present water. I think that's old water. We did have a bit of rain. Let's drain it down. Okay. Motor check. Let's go open it up. All right, water check. Everything looks good down there at the bottom bolts. Bolt the motor on, no leaking. So that is just old water. You can never be too sure. You gotta check this stuff, especially with a boat you've never used. All right. Terminals are good. That should probably be disconnected because that's gonna touch. Because that's just hokey. We don't need that right now. Okay. Motor check. Hold on. All right, guys. Everything looks dry. No leaks. Everything's good. When I first put this thing in, I had this on the on position, so it was just flooding the motor, and I was like, why can't it get going? And then I realized to turn that off and fired right up. Flooded his water, or just fuel puking out the intake. Got that figured out. Sick. Well, happy boating, guys. Buddy, you should be out here. This is so good. What are you doing?